Developer's Log, Stardate 909-3.9. These are the voyages of the game development starship the Tiniest Shark, on its continuing mission to seek out new life and new simulations, to boldly continue developing the game Redshirt. I'm Commanding Officer Mitu Kandekar, and today, rather than take you through an overview of the game like I did last time, I'm going to answer some of your incoming subspace communications, addressing topics from recent changes to the game, to how the system works, and also a little bit about the AI behind the game. For those of you who do want an overview, you can check out the last Developer's Log video. Now, without further ado, let's make it so. @Quinn Stevens on Twitter asks, how has your dev approach changed now that you've had a chance to see other people play the game? Any interesting surprises? So, I went on an away mission to Game Developers Conference in San Francisco in March, where for the first time Redshirt was demoed to a small number of friends and members of the press alike. I also took the iPad version of the game to the Indie Mobile Speed Pitch event, where I had 5 minutes to describe and demo the game to a number of different people. It was a harrowing but fun away mission, and thankfully I survived. I think the biggest piece of feedback we received from people playing the game was that it can be a little bit overwhelming to look at first. Now, although Redshirt can be a complex game, we definitely don't want it to seem unnecessarily complicated. So one of the things that's happened since the last Developer's Log video was to really rethink every element of the game and how important it is, and whether or not it's being represented properly to the player. And so in doing that, the interface changed from this to this. You'll notice that the number of attributes your character has been reduced significantly, although all those attributes and more still exist for all the NPCs in order to define their personality, but I'll come back to that later. Also, more obvious now is the concept of your player's rank. So you have a career rank according to how far up the career tree you are, and you have a charisma rank, which you can raise by generally being a happy social person amongst your peers. Your total rank, which is the combination of both of these, defines who you can become Facebook friends with. If someone's too high ranking for you, they'll probably just ignore your friend request. Unless, of course, you happen to bump into them at 9 backward and they happen to like you. Overall, having other people play the game has shifted my focus more towards the user experience instead of just pure simulation. When you're busy focused on making sure that things in the game just work, it's easy to forget that they also need to make sense to other people. ASCII211 on Twitter asks, is everyone going to die? Eventually, yes. @Rod Begbie on Twitter asks, are there kittens? Actually, yes. Well, sort of. So there's a RoboCat you can buy in the SHOP, as well as a poster of a RoboKitten hanging from a branch. So the SHOP is where you can spend your karma creds. It's not money, of course, because this is a post-scarcity economy after all, but having more karma creds means you can redeem it against more stuff, so you can impress more people into liking you. It's not money at all. So a number of people have asked about the toolset that I've been using for development. So I've blogged a little bit about this before, but Redshirt is being developed in Unity, mostly because of the ease of making something that's multi-platform, since the game's going to be released simultaneously for PC, Mac and iPad, but also because originally the idea was to have 3D avatars which reacted to things happening, which you could kind of see a little bit of in the last development video. @Grindhead Games on Twitter asked to talk about the AI in the game, which is a great opportunity for me to introduce you to Luke Dickin from Robot Overlord Games, who's an AI expert and gave a helping hand with the AI in Redshirt.
My name is Luke Dickin, I'm from Robot Overlord Games, and today I want to tell you a little bit about the work I've been doing on the AI inside of Redshirt. So in Redshirt, AI is actually a really hard problem. The main reason for that is that the interactions between the players and the characters in the game is really limited. Everything has to be done through Spacebook, and through Spacebook somehow we need to expose how each character is going to be feeling, and sort of from an AI point of view we need to expose why they're making the decisions they are. And if we can do that, we can generate a rich living world on board Redshirt space station. We also want the characters to have their own personalities, and we need them to be able to stay true to those personalities. The way that we're going about doing this is that we're going to use the same character attributes that the players have, because they already have an understanding of this system. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, over the top of that, layer a personality system that kind of just controls how these attributes work. We want to reuse as much code as possible between the characters, so what we've really been aiming for is a single framework that's going to describe how all the characters are going to act, and we want to change that and distort it depending on the attributes of the character, and then the personality of the character, and maybe even in terms of the long-term goals of that character. So although we're talking about using the same code, we want each character to act independently. The solution that we've ended up implementing is something that I'm really quite pleased with. It's using a system known as behaviour trees, and specifically priority selectors for behaviour trees. What we're doing is we're combining that with techniques from utility theory, and that allows the characters to differentiate themselves by determining what is important for them at a given time. We're really looking forward to showing you the AI we've created for Redshirt. We feel that it's a really important factor in generating the kind of immersive experience that we want the players to have in this game.
So that was Luke Dicken from Robot Overlord Games talking a bit about the process and challenges of the AI behind Redshirt. Now, besides Luke, there's also a few other people who've helped out with the game who I should probably mention. So all of the art in the game, from the user interface art to the character art, was done by Tom and Sophie from Clockwork Cuckoo. And a lot of the spacebook statuses were written by Lucy Hampshire, who's a fantastic writer. So a question that a lot of you have been asking is, when is the game coming out? So Redshirt's currently being polished with the final bits of art and music and fixing numerous bugs. So I want the game to be finished in the next couple of months. But because we seem to be experiencing a temporal anomaly, I can't give you an exact release date just yet, but we want the game to be as polished as possible, ready for you to play. This is Mitty Kandekar, Commanding Officer of the Tiniest Shark, signing off. Please keep your subspace communications coming in, and I'll see you next time.